Hey, Ricky here. Welcome back to another episode of Great Ace Attorney. Depending on the last episode, which order I'll be posting this, either I post this before we start off the trial of the last one, or after we finish the game, depending how these two escapades turn out. But in this episode, we're gonna finish up these escapades and hopefully have some fun while we're at it, because I kind of enjoy majority of them. As you know, like these two were just already did them in the at the end of each case with the first one and the second one. The third one not so much, because again, like Mr. Natsume, all of these happen after Mr. Natsume's trial. Since it is currently blind for me right now, because I don't know when these take place. And I have a feeling it is after Mr. Natsume's case, but depending how it turns out in this video, depending how these escapades turn out, will determine will be the factor of if this goes out next or right after. But either way, I am looking forward to it. Anyways, episode 7 of Escapades on the Briar Road. A chilling escapade about a Shilling's escape from the clutches of Broly and Pat B. Oh, we're see them again, I guess. Who'd only just found it on the street. Gina, the pickpocket, oh, she's making another appearance, is the obvious suspect. But Ryunosuke, Sholmes, and Iris happen to be passing by, and the plot quickly thickens. And the next one, in the Bailey, which I'll probably just read after, but let's jump into it now. So, can't wait for this one. I wonder how this will turn out, because I think I forgot how to do his voice, depending. Well, let's see. 30th April, 12:20 p.m. on Briar Road. My God, I feel full. I just ate, for those wondering, I just finished eating right now. And he still has a job. Yay, he has his job.
Sir, Constable Burley Beat reporting for duty. Thanks to the good offices of Lord Von Zeeks, I'm back on my beat here in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London, sir. My Rolly, back in his Bobby's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if he tried.
Well, it kind of seems like it was barely a week, honestly. They actually depend. What? I wasn't paying attention. When was this? April. Oh, it hit the case started on February, so March. 2 months. 2 months suspension, I guess, without pay, maybe. I don't know.
Ah, my love, you say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Oh my God.
To us, Lord Von Zeeks isn't the Reaper of the Bailey at all. Oh no, of course not. He's my affair partner. I mean, he's the patron saint of Bobby's. The patron saint. Oh yes, Pat. You're so right, my darling, keeping us in pocket he is. Oh, my first day back on the job. What did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love. A whole shilling. Oh, Rolly, I always believed in you. I always knew one day you'd find some big small change. With just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch of containing a single flower. My sugar. A single flower. Oh, how romantic. But I'm so sorry, Pat. Only a moment ago, that shilling disappeared. Disappeared? But my love, how?
Oh my God, I'm really getting into it. It's just so fucking funny. I love these couple because it's so fun to play as them.
I think maybe. No, I'm sure. It was this girl, sir. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you? You cheeky little diver.
I forgot her voice.
Blimey.
You took your time in getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff weren't ever gonna end. So, a shilling, you say? Lifted from your weight? Don't know nothing about it. Where's the evidence, eh?
Right there, the evidence is dancing around back of your hand, young lady.
It could be her shilling. Ever thought of that?
You stole it from me. You licked it from my pocket just now. You got the nerve stealing from a Bobby.
Cobbless! This coin's mine! How could you know anyway? How could you know it was taken just now or not? He's like, no.
Dear me, you don't get it, do you? We've hardly got a penny to our name, so that coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold.
Oh my, eh? She's like, I feel bad. I feel bad for stealing from this guy. Holy shit, I didn't know he was poor. I may be living on the streets, but I have money on me. This guy's poor. Holy shit. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself get a good few pounds lighter. Ah! Yep, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it.
Hey, watch it. Watch it. Don't you dare start saying a word with the N. And then the RG, oh god. What's the matter with ya, eh? Oh, Mr. Naruto? Huh? Me? Sorry? When a lady's in trouble, a Jutent's supposed to be there to help straight away. Not an hour later. This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything. Okay. And what about you, Sholmes? I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Okay, I think this takes place after case number whatever it's called. Oh, after the last case. Because, one, she doesn't know the name of Yonosuke. And two, she's not really talkative to us. So, actually, I don't know. I'm gonna check real quick. Alright, I'm back, and I did a bit of research on when this takes place. I was right. Yeah, it takes place after the last case. So I know when to upload this. Cool. Anyways, what about you, Sholmes? I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Dare to be, Lestrade. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end. Like how we were all watching this. You always said give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Jeannie. We just been standing here listening to your quarrel with his Bobby.
Do beg your pardon, madam. We shouldn't be troubling the public with police business. But that shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Rolly? Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Oh no. I don't want people to think I actually do say that. This was just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Sholmes before afternoon tea. Why do we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter. I wouldn't be so sure of that, Reno. What? I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is. Ah, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction. Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road. Oh, what reason? Was it your shilling? Did you drop your own shilling? You see, I was here yesterday and, well, I dropped a little something. So I wanted to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll. Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean. How close are we from the Baker Street, by the way? I feel like this is like a long-ass stroll from here. It was a pocket money that Hurley gave me. What's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you? I'm sorry. I went to the market in the Lime Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. But on the way, I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Oh! A 1 bob bit? Yes,
And when I thought back over the route I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? It's all my pocket money, and now it's gone.
Ooh, he doesn't know.
He's like, I don't know. Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that young lady.
Even the freaking wife. He's like, I don't know. Like, I can't seem to find it. By the way, I have to make another look for it. I'm sorry if I'm like... I can't even look at it. Never mind. Oh, well.
What rotten luck. What rotten luck dropping your money like that. Sorry.
I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their wide eyes. If it's all the same to you, Mr. Sholmes,
I think I prefer not to be used at a as the yardstick from looking guilty.
Plus, whenever he has his white eyes, it doesn't mean he's guilty. We've proven that a countless times. He's never been guilty with his white eyes. Well, the little tough really in it, Iris. You dropped it, so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say? What goes around comes around. So don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're going to get your coin back.
Oh, I can't believe I lost it. And straight after Hurley gave it to me as well.
Yes, regrettable, indeed. I seem to recall a particular coin was rather significant. What do you mean, significant?
To be specific, it was especially significant to you, Runo.
Significant to me? You don't mean... It was the coin from last night's wager? The very same, my dear fellow. What's this then? What wager?
It was a game of poker, a duel between Hurley and Runo.
Are we supposed to be talking about gambling? Is gambling legal here in freaking, in Britain? Because we're talking about it in front of a cop. I'm just saying. Poker? What, that tricky card game you mean? As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'll never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. Oh, I thought you were saying that. Like, you're not a lawyer. But depriving Mr. Naruto of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. Thoroughbred? What the fuck? Ugh, it was so infuriating. Relieving it now still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris. I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but you have to wait, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. Next month it's fine.
She already given you the day. Like, I want it right now on this day. Let me guess, Udo. Your whole fortune? It was 1 shilling, my entire monthly stipend. And I lost all of... What the fuck? Why are you betting your fucking stipend? How are you gonna... What? Then you shouldn't be... Where's Susato? I want Susato to throw you right now. What the fuck? Well, we actually know where Susato is right now, honestly. Since we know... I know this is going to go after the last case. We know for a fact where she is right now. This is when Ryunosuke's by himself in London. As I handed it over to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so my gums started to bleed. Holy shit.
Please, Reno, don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image.
But it happened.
What about a lawyer who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? Now, that's a horrible image.
Oh my god. And I like how Rolly is like, this is getting tired. I'm falling asleep from it. Didn't you already gotten the amount of sleep you deserved after taking your long break of work? What are you so sleepy right now? Like, it's so boring. I hate poker. Why do I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen through the roof? I mean, your reputation with this couple has been falling through the roof because you're the one who put her husband into suspension leave. There are a few things more invigorating than taking a man for all he's worth.
Don't be so pleased of yourself, Hurley. If not as if Runa ever had a chance of winning.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, using the special ink I developed, anyone could.
Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this is proving very dull for everyone. Look at Rolly right here. He's falling asleep. Let's let him sleep, my dear fellow. And continue on with our walk. What's done is done. The game is over now. The game's afoot. Oh, no more. Oh, no more, I mean. So there's no point crying over spilled milk.
Special ink, you say? Well, sir, that sounds like sort of a risky business that's right up my alley. Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger.
What's so dangerous about this? Oh shit, sorry. I just ate. I'm just letting you know. So that's why I'm a bit of a burpish. Well, then again, in every video kind of sounds like I am about to burp, so come on then, Iris, spill it. What's this special ink about it, eh?
Oh, well, it's what's sometimes called invisible ink. All you have to do is write the suit and number on the reverse side of every card. And with the aid of the special glasses, the whole game's laid bare to you.
Wait! You were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? And he's like, remembers everything. You said something about along the lines of, my eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened.
And the moment you failed to question that as odd,
was the moment I knew I had won the game. One day, and the light didn't get away either. Rinosuke, the light didn't get away when he had his glasses on. Mind games, wasn't it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways.
or you're just stupid. So you're telling me Sholmes could see every card what Udo had?
What? But that's not mind games. That's blatant cheating. My dear fellow, what an accusation. Will you honestly consider me to cheat? Please, I prefer trickster. Whatever you call it, the game doesn't count now. Understand, Mr. Sholmes? Dear me. Well, out of respect of the bad grace with which you take the feat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gina? So give it here. Eh? Leave me out of this. This year one bob bit of was mine from the start. No question.
No, sir. No, sir. And there one bob bit was lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago.
So you keep saying. Come on then. Where's the evidence?
Eh?
The law, right? It's all about evidence. I know my stuff. Plus, I went to jail already for this stuff. I'm no longer gonna go back in there again. You see, Mr. Naruto, use a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court. It isn't a trite excuse, you know. Not only that, it's not Ryunosuke that says it. It's the prosecutor, the witness, and also the judge that uses that excuse. Where's the evidence? Prove it, Ryunosuke. And we're the ones who prove it. So we never use this excuse. It makes no sense.
I said, sir, that coin has my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. That's right, it has. Rolly's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time for this.
I don't know why I used that voice on her. Do you think... remember last case, we were able to use the fog to determine... Or the smoke grenade. Oh yeah, smoke grenade. No, not smoke. The smoke gun to determine what color of blood that he has. That someone has. So we'll see if it has actual blood.
Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll see soon that now... We'll soon know about it.
Stand still, Genie. Alright, Genie. Hold very still. What? So she's been in jail for just, like, what, 2 weeks? And she's out? Holy shit. Look at that. See there on the coin? It's clearly changed color.
In other words, there is blood on this coin.
Once again, as I said, sir, that would be my blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh wait, I've seen blood turn that color before. Yes, I know whose it is. I see who it is. I know whose coin it is.
What?
The rightful owner of the blood-stained shilling is mine. Runo. Oh, never mind. Wait, since when did Ryunosuke ever show you what color of blood he has? What the fuck? Not me. And from the appearance of the blood, I would say it is quite fresh. Lived within the last 24 hours. Within the last... Then in that case... So, this is the coin what Sholmes had off Udo last night in the poker game? Oh, Runo, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed? I told you I was infuriated to lose. I had to grip my teeth as I handed over the money. How did the blood get on the coin then? On the shilling? Did you like wipe it off? Like, you know what? Here you go, Mr. Sholmes like wipes his teeth, wipes the blood on the shilling and gave it to him. Like what the fuck? Blimey, yeah, as odd as me by the sound of it. But I thought you had a proper job. Come on, Gina, just hand it over, would you? Well, he doesn't have the job anymore, if you remember correctly. The shilling, that's rightfully mine. Fine. Alright then. Just stop your bleeding, Starin. And stop bleeding again with your teeth. I finally have it back. It's like a dream come true. I nearly had the one in the bag and all. I had one in the bag and all. That's wonderful news, Rina. I'm so happy for you now then, as you promised. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before. Oh! You did say that you pay it back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you? Yes. Well then, I suppose. My dear fellow, do be kind to your gums.
Looks like the shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir. For some reason, the phrase serves you right is floating around in my head.
So, Iris, as promised, here is the shilling I owe you.
Oh, you're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though.
Brother! You're the one who made him promise. What's it all about it anyway? What are you lending Udo money for?
Ah yes, well actually, it's because I went to the Lime Street Market yesterday to buy herbs.
For Runo? Herbs? For Udo? Yes, the tea Mrs. Sato left behind is top quality Gyokoro tea, but it's just a bit so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some.
That's right, we made a special Japanese herbal tea with leftover Gyokoro. I'm going to call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you'll try it. I'll try it.
The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat if you can persuade the bright green globe to leave the cup. Why? It sounds quite delicious. Yeah, alright. Shit, I don't want to try it, but you're coming with us either way, Gina, so you can enjoy the drink. What was that little skip right there? What the fuck? Well, it would appear that Shilling's brief adventures are now at an end. Adventures? It's like the name of the game! You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night. Let's see, originally it was the coin I was supposed to give Iris to pay her for the herbs, but then in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes, who gave it to Iris as spending money. And then I dropped it here sometime yesterday.
Then my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up. It was lifted from my pockets by this here diver. I then used my favorite gun to show up the blood that was on it. And let's slip that about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night. And the annulment of which resulted to the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruto. Allow me to repay Iris the money I owed her after all, for the herbs she brought in order to make Susie's special blend tea. And now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Are you sure it's in your pocket? Are you sure it's in your pocket? Are you sure it's in your... Yeah, you're right. That was an adventure. A boring one, after all. But what are we supposed to do to take away from it, eh? This 1 shilling belongs to Iris, and Iris alone, I think. I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Naruto. Well, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. Why do I get the feeling that Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning? Priceless, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea and a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake the coming months, spending money in events. I fold. The moral of the story: don't you dare play poker with someone who is considerably a trickster. So that's a moral. I like that. It was cool, but I kind of wanted to be more. I don't know. I kind of wanted to be like a little hidden dance of deduction for Mr. Sholmes, but oh well. Now for the last one. The escapade takes place at the Old Bailey courtroom, where the defendant is none other than the Sholmes himself, and the charge is the most mysterious murder. Ryunosuke naturally advocates for the defense against the unflappable Reaper, Lord Van Zeeks, but Sholmes says someone calls the true culprit of the crime into question. Ooh, I wonder what this is about. Imagine it's a long one. Oh god, I hope not. This is gonna be a long ass episode. Date unknown. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh. So we don't know if it's before or after the game. Interesting. Well, not before the game. Before the last case. I have a feeling it's after, but at the same time, not really. Because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the latest episode, the finale of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, Ryunosuke loses his job. Or he doesn't lose his job. He can't be a lawyer for a while. So, let's see. Let's hope. Let's see how this takes place. What happens here? Holy shit. I would assume it's after because Susato's not there. Oh, I forgot about this guy.
This court is now in session for the trial of the Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is the most extraordinary case of murder. Consuls, I assume I may proceed.
Yes, my lord. The defense is ready. At your discretion, my lord.
Very well. I hereby call the prosecution to introduce the case.
The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Indeed. The now famous address of 221B Baker Street, was it?
The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but now will henceforth endure infamy of the grim crime. Yes, sir, well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rose, was found asphyxiated, whatever, on the accused's sofa.
My word.
Objection.
Wait, what the hell? But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left from the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rose somehow vanished herself out of his room completely.
Vanish yourself, Consul. The victim. And how do you know? Do you live with this man? Could it be you that killed him?
Quite true, my lord. There's but one adjoining door between the drawing room and kitchen. Yet, having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. What do you mean by empty?
There was nobody else present.
Ordinarily, my dear lodger Iris would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting for a specific society in the city.
I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim that the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to me extremely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite.
Okay, if she left, then how was she found dead on the sofa? As it happens, my lord, the door of the accused room was locked at the time from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door. But what about yes, she could have snuck out through the window.
Objection!
Did you forget about the last case or 2 cases ago? The windows can't be opened that way, remember? The windows in the room were not locked. It's true, and the victim had the opportunity. However, there was snow all around the building outside, and not a patch of it had been disturbed. It could have been continued snowing, I guess, or it could have just left. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving the trail?
So the victim, I don't want to say, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed.
Wait, what? What? Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman who resides in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, but just as Mr. Jones has said, I'm surprised he's able to testify for him, or give his testimony even though he's the lawyer. Shouldn't there be another lawyer to be representing them? Or him, at least? When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Oh, well, yes, you see, I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some important business. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we traveled back to Baker Street together. At that time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we made.
Do I take it, then, Consul, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place?
No, my lord. I went straight up to my bed of my own room in the attic. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with the most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sean's sofa, the vanished Madame Rosé motionless.
So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector?
No, my lord, not dead. But not far off it. She mustered all her remaining strength and said these dying words. That utter Sholmes will be the death of me. Ah, yes, I overheard that remark at the time, too. Delivered a rasping voice full of malice. No. Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired months later, there on the sofa. Oh, I thought he said, what? Months? No, moments, that's what I meant. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. But if she was strangled, we weren't there to see it. So how would we? Hooray! Does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job on summarizing the salient points.
Sholmes, repeat the death of me. Will be the death of me. Damning the parting words, indeed.
In the final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Objection.
But the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosé was. Ah, yes, of course. Did I never mention her to you? I extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. The most trivial of matters quickly becomes a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Great. It would appear, then, that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing her heuristic guest permanently.
Objection.
Putting that tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysterious surroundings of the case?
I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remain a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance, leaving no trail of footprints, for example.
That's right. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense! What have I overlooked? The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility, no mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. So tell me, Mr. Sholmes, you will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. I'm kind of a huge fan, by the way, Mr. Holmes, Mr. Sholmes, so can you please do this dance of deduction for me? I want to see it once in my life, please. But of course, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is no. Even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed. Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. Though the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it.
Now hold on. There's a feasible.
Thank you, consuls. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed my adjudication, and I kind of want to see his dance of deduction right now. So please, the accused great detective, did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosé, and therefore, find the defendant guilty.
Oh shit! Already?
Let this man be taken to the courtroom and, in some equally inscrutable manner, be sanctioned for his crimes. Court is adjourned.
Where's the jury, by the way?
Hold it.
Yeah, but where is the jury? My lord, please. The truth about the mysterious surroundings of this case are known to another besides the great detective. What's this? Upon my word, Mr. Naruto, are you coming along wonderfully? You've deduced the fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, detective, that the truth to this case is known. Only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? What? Well, I suppose, yes. You don't mean, are you suggesting, Mr. Sholmes, that you have an idea of as to what actually happened that night? An idea, my dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish with not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Pray, Mr. Reaper, which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation? I wonder. Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room, is it so? How exactly did Madame Rosé disappear? Why, naturally, via the window. It was ajar after all. But that can't be. The room is a whole story above the street level. And anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving the tracks in the snow, surely. Such as flying, for instance. A fatuous notion. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? Is it not entirely plain? It is not entirely plain. To the culprit's abode, of course. For having left my suite, that this is clearly where Madame Rosé was murdered. Take a moment to consider a cruel irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa. No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again then? There just weren't any. Sorry, I can't read apparently. Other than our own from when we returned from ourselves. Home for ourselves, I mean. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious.
To whom do you refer, sir?
A man whose somewhat unveiling presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Unveiling? You don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning the incident in Scotland Yard. Namely, you, Inspector Gregson. What? When you arrived to my address on Baker Street, you were carrying a half-dead Madame Rosé with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity and then laid the victim on my sofa.
You did. What?
Objection!
But we were with the inspector when we arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? He would have noticed. We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of his many pockets. Huh? Is it a bird? Is this murder the victim a fucking bird? Because it can't be anything other than that. Because if it was a bird, okay, if the parrot or whatever, this victim, if it can talk, it's a fucking parrot. It's a bird. So whenever Herlock went to go get his tea and whatever, he flew out the window. I have a feeling it's a bird, and he flew out the window, and I have a feeling that it's Gregson's bird. Are you fucking serious? Is it a bird? I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty.
A human body cannot fit in a pocket of an overcoat. I believe you may have fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosé was not a human. I beg your pardon?
Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, Mr. Naruto. Something troubles you, perhaps?
Whatever gives you that idea, exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosé?
Is it not apparent? Already. A parakeet, of course! Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact! A parakeet? A parakeet.
She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Won't to turn every conversation to a quarrel. I thought to strange the creature one more than one occasion. You had a quarrel with a parakeet.
But of course, why else would she have chosen to fly from my window, and so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector here beside me, no less. To Inspector Grex's abode. But why? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What are you? The inspector was called away from the town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper, thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explain. Give us your account of what happened last night, sparing no details, of course. Alright, and I was hoping I got you arrested, but it didn't happen. Oh well, I guess I have to say what really happened that night. Oh god, okay. Inspector Gregson. Alright. It was an accident. Why? I got back from being away that evening. You see, I just walked through the door of my office. I never imagined Madame Rosé would be her way back to the yard as well. I slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it.
So Madame Rosé...
She got sandwiched between the door and the frame, and fell to the floor, never to move again because of me.
And Barry Von Ziegler is like,
are you kidding me? This whole time, I've been called to prosecute of a murder for a bird. My waste of time. Well, I never. I had to do something, and just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. I had to hide Madame Rosé in a hurry, so I stuffed her in my coat pocket and get to the car with the pair of you.
So you left a dead bird in the couch, making it assume that Herlock Sholmes murdered it instead. I fucking knew it was a fucking bird once I heard flying. I'm like, is this a bird?
What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir.
What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right.
It was the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. She'd been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her.
Aww, that poor bird!
So for the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in my office at the yard. I see. If anything happened to that bird, just imagine! No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, it did happen when you couldn't find that book, so I can imagine it's gonna be worse.
That's why I will. But the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court had heard earlier that Madame Rosé spoke the name of the assailant on her deathbed. That rotter, Shorms, will be the death of me. Indeed, she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? Ugh. Clearly, you speak of me often at your office, at the yard, in this disparaging manner. A manner that the merry parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Well, come on! I mean, have you read this month's edition of Rancid Magazine, huh? I'm...
What are you?
Sorry! This is all absolutely true!
I guess he's not guilty then. Can't believe we're fucking in a court. We're in a fucking courtroom because of this fucking bird. Hey, what the hell? Who the fuck are you? I know who you are, but I've never seen you like this in this game. Something wrong, Lord Von Six? No. Nothing. I almost drifted off for a moment there. It's hard to not to drift off when you've been kept waiting for 3 hours already. I don't know why I made him sound like. I wonder if he'll manage. If we'll manage to meet Lord Strongheart at all today. We may have to deliver the reports to the Windy Bake case that he asked for another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Madame Rosé, you mean? She had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. Are you fucking telling me this is all a daydream for Barry Von Zeeks? No wonder there's no there's no date to the fucking escapade. It's because he's just imagining it in his head. What the fuck? Okay, that's cool, I guess, but come on. This was not real. At least it just goes to show that Barry Von Zeeks does daydream at times. I wouldn't imagine him to do so. Holy shit! And also, it confirms when this takes place. It takes place after the last case with the Windy Bake case. So, yeah. I delivered her back on here not too long ago. Actually, Lord Strongheart orders. On Lord Strongheart's orders. He's hoping that the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosé was a person. Oh, never mind. He's just recalling. He's just remembering. Never mind. It is a real thing. Never mind. I thought he was daydreaming. Sorry about that. It was Lord Strongheart's the man that... Oh, good. You're here. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Okay, for a guy who's aware of time, you're always late, aren't you? Oh no, my lord! No, please don't trouble yourself. Nothing gives a greater pleasure than standing in here doing nothing for hours at then. He said that before. Heartening. So, let us hear it then. Your report. The Windy Bake trial is concluded, but this is far from over. It seems that dark, far eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. Well, here's the thing. You keep taking cases with him, so don't even. We will meet again
Of that, I have no doubt. Did you see that? Did you see that, Love on Ziggs? Did you? Mademoiselle went flying off with the pigeons. Happy as Larry she was. Really, Inspector? You must be relieved. Well, yeah. Apparently, he won't be able. He will be able. He will get paid now. So thank God he won't be deducted anymore. And A's aficionado. I never got this one. Okay, cool. So that's what happens when you read all the cases then. Well, that's going to be it for this episode, and probably this whole series too. I don't know if I'm going to make a bonus episode on the things that I've missed so far, or like did not show off in the game. Probably won't. If I do, it's probably going to be far into the future. Probably when I make the second game, but who knows. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this series, and I hope you'll stay tuned for my next series, the next projects I may start to make, or the next video. But till then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye! What does this button do?